Okay, Hi, we're the Future Christchurch Group. My name is Praveen.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jackie.
I'm David.
I'm Erica.
Byron.
The emphasis for the studio was finding a direction towards the future while recognizing the current crisis as potentials within the city. The starting point for our work was a critique towards Christchurch's draft plan released early in 2011, and while it was their mandate to focus on the CBD, it was problematic and they didn't have the opportunity to consider the whole of Christchurch. Now this is where we come in. From a neutral perspective, we could design without bias. The first critique was regarding their singular top-down method of master planning. This conventional approach aims towards a one-off final end result, and as a response to the inflexible nature of this approach, we've proposed an alternative growth process that is both organic and able to adapt to emerging socioeconomic demands. The second critique towards the draft plan was its heavy emphasis on the central node alone. This overlooks a potential in growth towards the western side of the city. In response to this, we are proposing the polycentric city model, which addresses Christchurch as a whole. The third and the final critique to the draft plan was the lack of an economic driver. In order to encourage urban growth, an understanding of the kind of multifaceted structure of economics is needed to make use of all potential avenues. Thus, we structured our theses around separate economic drivers. The reason being is none of these economic drivers can be dealt with in isolation. In fact, they're intrinsically linked. These 6 elements can be read individually, but together they form a collective proposal. This research led to respective informed urban strategies, in turn manifesting into the form of architectural proposals. So here's a brief overview of the architectural applications to the various economic arguments. However, the focus of our work isn't exclusively on the architecture. It's more focused on the research methodology that really informed the design process. Situating these proposals in the urban context, we were also aware of the existing growth trends towards the west. And this demographic pattern further validates the need for the previously mentioned polycentric city. So here are our individual thesis strategies.
The innovation economy identifies the economic growth potential within the industrial line. We will do so by making use of the existing rail infrastructure and repurposing this declining manufacturing sector for high-value business growth.
And because of the focus of the existing rail corridor, my thesis aims to take advantage of that and revitalize it for commuter use. A multimodal transit system was also designed to create a more efficient network. These modes of transportation are easily obtainable through a mobile application called KiwiGo. The overall network in the proposal aims to connect areas with high potential for growth.
By taking advantage of this western growth, the green economy identifies an economic potential and transitioning towards a zero-carbon energy structure, and creates a catalyst for this transition to happen, thus creating a nodal point that anchors this industrial corridor development, which connects the growing suburbs to the CBD.
So Hornby is an example of a growing suburb mentioned earlier. So education-based intervention will occur initially in these growing suburbs, which creates a knowledge culture within the city. The creative economy aims to create a new generation of educated workers known as the creative class.
In order to attract and retain this new generation of creative thinkers, a high quality of life is necessary. This was achieved by providing transitional events that reflect the changing landscape of the city.
In order to accommodate the new growth shown in previous economies, a new typology for housing is needed. This thesis provides a choice of an adaptable solution that addresses the current problem of housing shortage.
These 6 economies work together, and they each relate to the existing and emerging initiatives within the city. Unfortunately, at the moment there is lack of communication between these initiatives, and our work acted as a catalyst for this discussion. Each of our theses have reached out to local initiatives to bring our projects to fruition, with CPIT, Oricon, Christchurch City Council, and SERA being our overarching consultants. And our projects have sparked further collaborations between organizations.
An example of this is how my project created the chain reaction of interest, beginning at HitLab, while Coral Lee from Gap Villa pitched my idea to Take Communications, which then grabbed the interest of Bicycle Ventures, before finally sparking the interest of Sean Hardcastle from Oregon alongside Christchurch City Council and Sarah. After getting their attention, we organized a collective conversations to discuss the real-world implications of all of our work.
Another example of this is shown in the Lux City event, a temporary night showcase in which I assisted in curating. Lux City attracted more than 20,000 people back to the city centre and illustrated the overwhelming public support to such initiatives. In addition to mine and Jackie's project, Alex engaged with the EPIC Innovation Initiative, Praveen has liaised with the Unlimited School, David is in contact with various energy bodies to develop a zero-carbon future, Byron has developed on the CCDU Housing Demonstration Project, which has led to a job opportunity with David Shepherd, who is part of the Christchurch Blueprint.
As a group, we have experienced how our collection of small initiatives made a big difference in communities. This reflects the successful nature of the bottom-up approach. It was evident in the reception that we received in Christchurch, which really surpassed all our expectations, particularly when we presented to Christchurch City Council and later to the public during the Festa event. The innovative approach towards working collaboratively as a team of thesis students has proven to be extremely successful and can be seen from our outcomes. This task required us to take on a collaborative approach to design, where each member of the group took on a unique role in the process. Through knowledge sharing and learning from each other's strengths, there was a synergy created within our work. The conclusion of this year and our theses only represents the end of the beginning. We see it more like the start of a legacy, a lineage of publicly informed academic thinking that's really bigger than the six of us. The work will be in the third volume of Future Christchurch and become a platform for Studio Christchurch, which is an initiative shared among universities. The networks we have cultivated have the potential to develop our proposals further into careers following graduation. And to be involved in the whole process, it's very humbling. And I'd just like to say thank you for your consideration, and let's go make a better Christchurch.